Hey everyone, Cargo Bike Life here again. Alright, this is video 8 of the refurbishing a bike to like new conditions. We are going to rebuild the back wheel. The previous video we took it apart and now we're going to rebuild it. And I'm going to go over the cleaning of a freewheel. All I do for a freewheel is I take a brush, little Dawn, little water, and I just scrub it out real good. Making sure to get in between. If you got a lot of garbage in between there, you take the opposite end of this with the teeth on it and you run it through there, pulling all the trash out of there. I just scrub it up real good with the brush, back side of it, rinse it off real good, blow it dry with some canned air, and then it's all cleaned. It's not real complicated. Like I said though, just make sure you get in between here. That's what the opposite end of this brush is for. Get in there and pull it around and make sure everything's cleaned out. Just scrub it up. That's all it takes to clean the freewheel. Don't soak it in water and submerge it. Don't do that. It's not good for it. Alright. First thing we're going to do, we got our tub of grease here. We're going to take the wheel. I've already reapplied the little plastic spoke protector on there. Gonna get some grease. No different than doing the front where you did front bearings on the fork. I'm gonna put some grease in this cup. Want a good amount in there because that's what's going to hold the bearings in place while we put the axle back through. Put some more grease in there. And like I said in the previous video, I don't see how there could be too much grease. I just don't believe in too much grease on moving parts, metal on metal. Then what I've done is I separated my bearings into 2 piles of 9 each. Then I'm just going to take them and I'm going to place them in there, pushing them down in that grease. There we go. 9 bearings in there. A little more grease. Make sure the outside of them is coated too. There we go. Looks good. Now we'll go to the other side, do the same thing. Go. 9 bearings back in. A little bit more grease. Coat it good. Make sure they're completely covered in grease. That looks good. Break the finger off here. Now if you remember, we took the axle out. And what you have to remember is whatever side you took it off from, you have to insert it back in. And this is important on a rear wheel because you have spacers. That's the little spacer. I know it came off the non-drive side. So I'm going to very gently, trying to keep it centered, push it back through there. All my bearings are still there. I'm going to put it in place. I'm going to hold it there to make sure that it doesn't come out. Take that little bit of grease, wipe a little bit on my axle, the rest back in there. I'm going to take my cone nut, screw it back on. I'm going to crank it down, and then I'm going to test this. Got some play there. I can feel it wiggling back and forth, so I'm going to tighten it up again. Check it. Tighten it up again. There. Now there's just a tiny bit of play in there. And I'm going to back it off just a hair. Got a little bit of play in there. I'm going to put my spacer back on there. Put my other nut on there. Okay. Tighten it down a little bit. Now it's a little bit hard to turn. It's just you can feel it. And what you don't want is any play. When you're done tightening this up, you don't want any play. You don't want any back and forth movement or up and down movement. And right now it's a little tough to spin. And that's really what I'm looking for. In fact, I'm going to tighten it down just a little bit more by holding the nut on the other side with my 17. And I'm going to twist this just a little bit more. Now it's pretty hard to turn. Not super, it'll still turn, but it's you can feel it, it catches. And the reason I do that is because when I hold this cone nut and I tighten this one, it's going to loosen back up. You see that little bit of turn right there? And I'll tighten it, not super tight yet, because I want to check my play. Spinning nice, no play in there. I'm going to give it a little bit more tightening down. That's spinning nice. There's no play. There's no play in it. Spinning good. I think I might have got it a little too tight though. So what I'm going to do is try to back this cone nut off just a hair. Just a hair. Nope. Now you have to, it's one of those things you have to learn. And sometimes you have to play around a little bit. Loosen it up again. Had it a little too tight. Back that cone nut off. Feels pretty good right there. Let's try tightening it up again. Sometimes you'll get it on the first try, sometimes you won't. Crank that down again and see where we're at. No play, that feels really good right there. I like the way that's spinning. No play. Yeah, that's spinning good right there. I like that. Yep. That works. No play in it. Now, little dab of grease right here on these threads. just a little bit. Don't saturate them. Just get a little grease on there. Take your free wheel. Make sure you get it on there straight. Put it on by hand. Get on there nice and straight. Make sure it spins on nice and smooth like that. See that? There we go. This is not absolutely necessary, but once I get it on there, I like to give it just a little bit of a twist. Not a lot, because it'll tighten itself as you pedal the bike. Now we put our cap back on this side, our little rubber bushing over there. Here's our washer. And we're good to go. The wheel is cleaned and it's rebuilt. Ready to go put the tube and tire back on and put it back on the bike. That's all there is to it. And the front wheel is no different, except you won't be removing a free wheel. You use the cone wrench and whatever size you need, probably a 17 and maybe a 15 or a 14 or a 13, and just release it, pull it out, clean everything up, put it back together just like we did that one. And then both your wheel sets, your set of wheels will be done. So this is Cargo Bike Life signing out. Y'all ride safe. Have a good day.